Bro, I hate whenever they try to argue that because they act like just because they don't participate in it that it doesn't happen. It's clear as day, bro. Go on Twitter for an hour and you will see a pride event in the streets and kids around. If it's not a pride event in the streets, it's a drag show with kids in attendance.
Subscribe to this channel in case you are watching this channel and have not subscribed.
Well, welcome back. You may have noticed it's Pride Month. It's pretty hard to ignore it. The rainbow flag has been hoisted over London's Regent Street in place of Union Jack and draped from the White House balcony in place of a star-spangled banner, which has sparked quite a backlash in the States. Have we gone rainbow crazy? Or is Pride Month more important than patriotism? We'll debate this. I'm joined by Fox News commentator Tomi, and in the studio, the comedian James Barr. All right, Tomi, off you go. You're in.
It's so sad that the only reason why Biden is doing the whole LGBT shit at the White House is because he wants votes. And it's sad that in America, it is more uplifted to be gay than it is to be patriotic. Like, that's how much this whole woke ideology has destroyed America, is that you can't even be proud to be an American anymore without being considered a colonizer or a white supremacist or a racist or, you know, a bigot, anything, you know. You can't even be proud to be an American anymore in America without someone being upset about that, which is insane to me because correct me if I'm wrong, but everywhere else that there is to live has had their own fucking faults, especially in their past. But yet America is the only one that gets like wrecked for it because I guess in schools we teach that fact that we was bad in the past, which I mean, it seemed like a good idea whenever I was learning it. But nowadays kids just take that shit and run with it. They think motherfuckers like George Washington are just Nazis. Like, what?
Raged by this. Why?
Well, listen, I wouldn't say I am enraged by it, but I am irritated, and a lot of American conservatives agree with me. Now, listen, Pride Month is not a new thing. They've been celebrating Pride Month for many, many years, and most American conservatives had no issue with it until it became forceful, until it became the need for acknowledgement, the need for forced celebration, the need for forced validation. That's when you lost people. And then we took LGB and then we added LGBTQIA plus, and then we included men who dress up like women and mock women like influencer Dylan Mulvaney. And then a lot of American conservatives just said, listen, we've had enough. It's okay if you're proud of your sexuality, but why do I have to be proud of your sexuality? That's where you lost a lot of folks, and we're starting to finally stand
firstly,
up
I'll say
and
Dylan
is
is a trans woman. Dylan is a woman, so you got that wrong. And secondly,
well, Dylan was a gay man until last year. Hang on, Dylan was a gay man until last year.
They've transitioned. They're a woman. I think that we lost people right at the beginning when gay people were dying in the streets because no one was looking out for us. So actually, what we're doing right now is just, I wouldn't even use the word celebrating. I think Pride is a protest.
Is it a bit?
When was the gay people, like, someone tell me, when was gay people just dying in the streets? I knew that whenever I was growing up that gay people weren't allowed to get married, which I thought was wrong, but they still had the rights to go work. They still had the rights to do whatever the fuck they want. They still had the rights to live as a gay person, which you can't do in some other countries, like the Middle East. You can't even say you're gay without being killed. So unless he's talking about the Middle East, then I understand that, but it sounds like he's talking about Western countries like the UK and America. I'm sure it was frowned upon before, and to me that makes sense because civilization always been, you know, defensive and offensive. Like, they always wanted to have a good military. They always wanted to have fighters to fight for them. And if you have a bunch of people being gay and not producing offspring to make more people, then it's like you're handicapping your country to where you're going to end up losing eventually. Like, another country's going to end up having a bigger population and just come through and just walk on you, take what you have, and then you're going to be no longer there. But I can't think of a time that I was taught in history when gays were just murdered for being gay. If y'all know any, let me know. But the only thing that I've ever known about people being murdered for how they are is blacks in America, and that's because of slavery, which led to segregation and and, you know, Emmett Till and all the lynchings and you know, all the shit that happened from the KKK. But other than that, that's the only people that I know that have been targeted and murdered for this shit. I'm not saying gay people weren't murdered for being gay. I'm sure that's had to have happened, but I don't think it was like a whole movement like the KKK. I could be wrong though, so let me know.
Bit too much. In other words, do you want to?
What does that mean? What is too much?
In other words, I think with every campaign, bringing people with you is really important, right? The moment it looks like it's just over the top, like it's everywhere you go is pride, 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 pride. Do we need to be that exuberant about it?
Are you blaming gay people for that? I mean, it's
No.
not our fault that companies...
Honestly, I don't care what sexuality anybody is. I don't think most people do anymore.
Right, so what is the problem then? Why are you so
The companies.
triggered by a flag?
I'll tell
It's
you
a
what
rainbow
problem.
flag. You mentioned Regent Street.
I'm not triggered by a rainbow flag. I'm triggered by the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag. And
Well, I'm triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight
Where?
Where's my
everywhere?
straight
Where?
flag?
Why am I constantly
Where
getting
is my straight
people? Why are
flag?
straight people holding hands in the
When
street?
have you ever seen a straight flag?
Why has Mickey Mouse got a
Tell me
girlfriend?
one straight flag
Why are
hanging
you
right now
pushing-
anywhere in the world.
Why are straight people
Where
pushing
is the straight flag?
identity
Where's the
onto
straight
me?
flag?
Everywhere.
Where's my straight flag?
It's everywhere.
It's never been a
Piers.
straight flag.
You're a straight.
Bro, but to pretend that being gay is normal and just something that should be normalized is dumb, and it's not normal. Like, I think gay people should just realize that what they are is not normal. There's nothing wrong with being not normal. I agree, it's okay, but it is not normal. We are not made to be gay. We would not exist as a species if we was gay. To me, I just don't see why kids need to be like taught that it's okay. I mean, I think parents should teach their kids to be accepting and to not bully people because of their life choices. I think that's something that stems from the house. But trying to force the public to think that it's normal is just not going to happen because straight people know that it's not normal. It's okay, like I said, but it's not normal. And kids, they just don't know that.
flag.
Let me bring Tommy back because this made me laugh. Demi Lovato has revealed she got tired of using they, them pronouns due to constantly having to educate people about it. She said it was exhausting. Well, I know the feeling, Demi. She's exhausting, isn't she, Tommy?
It's all exhausting. Listen, nobody cares what you choose to be. It's just this. Everybody has to keep up with what you feel like today or tomorrow. Everybody has to change the way that they address you. And if somebody, heaven forbid, makes a mistake, then all of a sudden they're a transphobe and they're akin to a domestic terrorist. It is absolutely ludicrous.
That's absolutely
and to go
not
back
true.
To this
That's
pride,
not-
And by the way,
listen,
how many
if you
letters
were
are there now?
No, I let you talk.
Well, yeah, exactly. What is
I
it?
let you talk.
You finished, Tommy. Yeah.
Why aren't you going on Piers? He's on her side.
Finish your point.
Yeah, and there's another part of this whole pride thing. Listen, if it was just rainbows and love is love, there's no problem with that. If you look at a 9 or 10 of these pride events, it's grown men and grown women wearing bondage gear, smacking each other.
In
Often
public.
children are involved to watch this spectacle.
then.
I mean, my goodness, if you want equality...
Well, Sam Smith.
Bro, I hate whenever they try to argue that because they act like just because they don't participate in it that it doesn't happen. It's clear as day, bro. Go on Twitter for an hour and you will see a fucking pride event in the streets and kids around. If it's not a pride event in the streets, it's a drag show with kids in attendance. Like there's this dude, you cannot deny the videos that exist. Like you could pretend all you want, but it still doesn't change the fact that it happens.
Never mind anybody else. He's always up there.
Sam is a they pronoun. Sorry, please finish.
Sam used to be a he too, right? And we can't keep up with any of them. Demi Lovato used to be
Demi's
they, them.
exhausted 'cause
Now
it's so
she's
funny,
a she
by the way.
again.
It
He's
is-
been a he. He wants to be called they, them.
Stop.
He'll be back to being
Stop.
a he
It
again.
is so funny.
They can't make their minds
that
up what they are.
Both of you are straight, and you're saying you're exhausted.
How do you know I'm straight? How dare you guess my
For God's
sexuality?
sake, let's not play games here. It is
I
exhausting.
don't remember
being gay.
Tommy revealing her sexuality
There are
to you.
72 countries in the world where it's illegal to be gay. That's why.
Right, answer me
you have a
one.
pride flag.
Answer me one. And I'm with you on gay rights to equality. Absolutely, 100%. Always have been. Answer one question. How many letters are there now in the
That's
official?
such a pointless
Well,
question.
how many are there?
It's a flag that represents.
How many
I
letters?
don't even know.
How
Piers.
many are there?
I don't need
Exactly
to know.
my
I don't
point.
need
It's
to know.
like I think now it's like +2S LGBTQIA plus again. I don't know. I know that I saw one that was just crazy because it had a +2 in the beginning. I was like, what in the fuck is that even supposed to stand for?
Because it's not about.
There
the
are so many
letters.
letters now. We can't keep up with it.
It's not about that. It's about inclusion.
Nobody
for
knows if they're an L,
LGBTQ+
a G,
people.
a B,
Yes,
a
they
T,
do.
a Q.
Piers, you're just-
And now we found out, according to that John Hopkins Medical University in Baltimore, that apparently lesbians are now no man who have relationships with non-man having a relationship with a non-man.
I personally don't even know what you're talking about. What?
Exactly.
See, I feel like I feel bad for people like him. Well, I guess he's going with they them now too. But I feel bad with like people that are gay or lesbian and they was the LGB, you know, and then they are all automatically just started getting just bombarded with T and then Q and then I A plus 2S type shit because Like, I can see why they would be wanting to be accepting to this shit, but I don't think that they understand that a bunch of people with mental conditions are just hopping on and just claiming to be something that is not possible. But people that are gay, they see the shit and they're like, well, I don't think it's fair because not too long ago I wasn't allowed to be gay, or I wasn't able to marry the person I wanted to marry, and I don't want to exclude or withhold someone from being able to be themselves. But that's the problem, is that y'all aren't even like checking in to see what the fuck these people are talking about. Y'all just hear them say that this is what they are, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. When it doesn't even make logical sense. It doesn't even make sense in a fairy tale. I just think it kind of makes sense to me on why everyone was so accepting, but it's still just like y'all shot yourself in the foot by doing that.
Nobody knows what they're talking about.
The pride flag is there to represent LGBTQ plus people and minorities. And like all sorts of movement, like Black Lives Matter, the reason it's so loud and, to quote exhausting, because we need to...
All right, but I do want to come back next time I speak to you to the straight flag that you say exists, which I've never seen.
Right.
Bro, I would hate to be a TV show host, because like y'all wasn't even able to have that serious of a conversation. Y'all had 5 minutes to talk about this for 3 people, and you wasn't able to talk about shit because you had a time limit to crunch it into. I would hate to be right. Like, I know it's his living and that's how he's famous because of TV, but eventually I would just branch off like Tucker and just start doing my own shit. If Piers made his own TV show or a Twitter show or whatever the fuck, to where he could just sit down and talk to whoever the fuck he wanted to talk to about situations like this, it would probably do way better, because like, it's just annoying. You can't even get into the conversation without him having to cut the commercial.
I want my own straight flag.
Sure.
Tommy, great to see you. Great to see you.
May I wish you a happy Pride Month?
You may. Go on. Woo! Woo! Woo!
I feel like they did that shit to be a nuisance or annoying or something, but I don't know. It didn't really bother me. You want to celebrate that shit, whatever, just clean that shit up. But yeah, I'm in that video there, y'all. Please leave a like. If you guys got anything to say about the video, let me know down below. You know I read every single comments. And if you fuck with your boy, will you please give me a subscription? With that said, deuces.
Bitch, I been drinking, but don't tell my peers.